My top 10 games of all time. Everyone has their favorites, and this is a list that I've wanted to compile for a long time, mainly because I've never actually narrowed it down to 10, so I'm going to have to give it my best shot. By the way, I know I'm a 21.9 specific channel, but this is a separate video. Ultra-wide support, etc. has no basis on this list. That's for a separate video. So this is a list of my favourite games, not only down to their quality for story and gameplay, etc., but my time with them, the impact they've had on my life, something that suddenly won't be the same for most others, and, well, it's why it's my list. I should note this is nothing about 21.9, a rarity I know on this channel. So at number 10 is Age of Empires 3. I was so tempted to put Age of Mythology instead, and honestly it's a complete toss-up between the two, but these two games made my childhood. I remember waking up as early as physically possible and cram in as many hours as I could before my mum woke up because it was her laptop I was playing on. And of all the games on this list, this is my most nostalgic. And seeing as I will continue to come back and play 3 and Mythology, I could not have this on my list. It's simply too special to me. I know a lot of people prefer AoE 2, but whilst I played a lot of that, it just doesn't quite hold the same special feel to me as Age of Empires 3. At number 9, we have Rainbow Six Siege, one of the most recent entries in my list. I loved this when it first released, and have been so happy to watch it as support for it has only grown over time. Yes, it hasn't got any story or the most insane graphics, but the gameplay and destruction are just fantastic. I've spent the most time out of every game on this list playing this game since the start of 2016 to date. It really is a favourite of mine. At number 8, we have another tie that I'm struggling to choose between, but I'll go with GTA 5. GTA 4 was the other contender for me because whilst it's nowhere near the size of 5, and many mechanics like fighting and driving were worse, the comedy and story in the game were just bloody perfect. The people you met and the lines they came up with never failed to be hilarious, and it gave the game a ridiculously good personality. However, I'm giving this 8th slot to GTA 5 because, if I'm honest, it does hold a higher tier to me because it simply is a shockingly good game. The single player was crafted beautifully, the multiplayer has changed the multiplayer scene so significantly, and the world it's all set in is gorgeous, with attention to detail outclassing any game I can think of. You can be in the middle of nowhere and you'll still find hiking paths with people on them and people chatting everywhere. But needless to say, you all most likely know all about this game anyway, so I'll say no more. At number 7 is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. This was the third game I ever owned on PS3. I was about a year or two late to it already, as I wasn't allowed a console for a long time, bar a DS Lite. And this game blew me away. I was talking about this when I covered the remaster last year. It just had a level of detail and grittiness and personality I had never experienced in a game, and I was completely unaware of the effect this game would have not only on my future gaming choices, but gaming in general. The number of hours I spent on this online, beating the single player a million times, playing split screen with friends, the lot, is insane, and likely one of the games I've put the most hours into out of everything I've ever played, bar one exception, which is coming up. At number 6 is Metro Last Light, a game I'm sure a lot of people haven't played, and that is actually a real shame. This is a brilliant example of a tense thriller experience. You're pushed to wade through the truly unique setting of Russia's underground after a nuclear war, and the story and experiences you go through along the way, and the variety of human and non-human enemies you come up against create this exceptional experience. It is scary at times, I won't deny, but it's no pure horror game for sure. It just puts you at unease as you're wandering this abandoned environment and recalling what life was like before the war. This is a gem I recommend everyone to play, and with the Redux versions out, you can play this and the first game in the best possible quality. And number 5 is Battlefield 3. I'm pretty sure it's the only game I've put more hours into than COD 4. This dominated my life on Xbox 360 for years before and during my A-levels. It was a phenomenally good game and truly blew me away with the scale of fighting, as I had been so used to small maps and small numbers of people from games like Call of Duty up until that point. Wow, this was a good game. And number 4 is Far Cry 3, need I say why? From the second I watched the now extremely famous Vast Definition of Insanity trailer, I was hooked. This open world title has fantastic fighting, violence, story, characters, and a beautiful world to explore. It had a personality that Far Cry 4, and most certainly Far Cry Primal, completely lacked. It still holds the title as the best in the series for me. Now for the final 3, the big dogs. At third place is The Witcher 3, a game I still cannot say I finished. Shockingly, I've played about 45 hours of this, and thanks to my innate ability to actually do main mission stories and instead go and do every side mission I can, I've still got tons to go and still have the absolutely stunning Blood and Wine DLC to play too. This gigantic game has brilliant gameplay, mixing swordplay with magic, with an immense variety of enemies to fight in wide-ranging environments, from icy mountain tops to beautiful sun-soaked beaches. Its lore and characters have created a game that simply will go down in history as one of the best titles ever made. Second place goes to a game whose story still confuses a lot of people and took me a number of replays to truly understand when it first released: BioShock Infinite. This game still holds one of my favourite stories of all time and gameplay that I totally love in a setting that really resonated with my imagination. For whatever reason, my imagination went wild with the city in the clouds. I loved the setting, the beauty of the levels, and the story behind it all. There were always so many questions as you progressed. Why, when, how, and they slowly revealed themselves as you delved deeper, but then more would appear, and it was only after finishing it, and then the DLC, that you realised the true facts behind this convoluted tale that it was telling. Wow, it is brilliant. Now, a few honourable mentions before I say my top game. Choosing a top 10 is bloody difficult. In fact, I don't think it's the best thing to do now I've done it, because realistically, so many games have amazing quality, and to make it seem like you don't love them just because you haven't put them in your top 10 is insane. But nonetheless, the most notable titles to mention here are Wolfenstein: The New Order, Splinter Cell Conviction, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Minecraft, Mario Kart DS, and LA Noire. All games I love so dearly. And now the top game on my list, the number 1 place, goes to a game that can't even be played on PC, Red Dead Redemption. This game, well, I'm sure many of you will know the quality of the title, but something about the setting, that old Wild West world, captured my imagination in a way even greater than BioShock Infinite. This is a key part to my favourite games, their ability to stimulate my mind and be able to put me completely in the world, to never question it, but instead 100% feel like I'm currently in that place and the real world around me doesn't exist. It's an amazing feeling, not that I don't love the modern world. Red Dead Redemption storytelling was pure quality as well, with brilliant characters and gameplay to match that will leave a great memory after playing in anyone's mind. So you now see why it saddens me so much that this game is still stuck on consoles at 30 FPS, 16:9, 720p. Wow, yeah, we need a PC remake. I also cannot believe Rockstar is doing their continually screwed up thing of releasing Red Dead Redemption 2 on consoles first and then years later on PC. Just, god damn it. Anyway, that's just my list. Let me know how much you agree or disagree with my choices. Write your top 10 below. It never fails to be fascinating seeing the crazy diversity in what other people love to play. As always, if you want to see anything 21.9, be sure to check out my channel. I'm sure there'll be something of interest there. And if not, then leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see and I'll try and cover it. Leave a like if you like this video and subscribe for lots more content. And if you'd like to support the channel, the links to my Patreon page are in the description. See you later.